Scrapbookers. So I just made a video, a couple of videos I think, about making or using heat embossing. So I've first of all cut out a bunch of things on my Silhouette Cameo, which is an electronic die cutting machine, and then I embossed them. So if you want to see how I did that, just look at my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see where I did that. But I've cut some trendy shapes. So I have some chevrons. I've got a little camera. See that? I've got gears and also Viewmasters. And a lot of Viewmasters actually. And then I have one Polaroid frame. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking inspiration from the latest CHA 2014. So at this CHA we saw a lot of gold, and I have these thickers, and just looking at all of these things, so I've got the trendy Viewmasters, I've got the gold thickers, I've got this shape which reminds me of Peter Pan, because I don't know why, it just kind of does. It looks like a bow and arrow, and it reminds me of the Lost Boys. And I've also been thinking about that because of a conversation I had with my son last night. The other thing, so I'm kind of in my mind got a theory of where this is going to go. Although when I turn my video camera, which is an iPad, on to make these videos, I don't have a clearer picture. So I'm staying with that. But I have on my mind today a conversation I had with my son last night. I also have some things just handy that are from my Counterfeit Kit collection. The Counterfeit Kit Club is a club that you can belong to free of charge, and you can make a kit using your old supplies to get the look of the current kit. So I'm kind of mixing those ideas up. I'm going with this chevron-y look. And so these are the papers I think I'm going to use. I need to find a picture. And so I think it's going to be of my son. I like this triangle. I also, oddly enough, think I have this paper here that's from a million years ago in this world of scrapbooking. This was like a color blocked piece of paper that I don't know if I'm going to use that. I don't think I will. But this would be for a 2-page layout, and it's actually like 12 by 24. Wow. Okay, I don't actually want to use that. I think what I want to do is start with a white or an off-white colored paper, and I just have this from my Counterfeit Kit collection. So let's use this as my base. And then what I'm going to do is a trick that I've seen Marcy Penner do a lot. She's a scrapbooker, and also Celeste Smith does, and it's called the messy block, or it's what Debbie Hodge calls the messy block. And so what basically happens with this type of layout, and if you look at my Pinterest board, you can see what I'm talking about. Let me just find it for you. You go to Pinterest and let me see. Instead of looking for my board, I'm just going to type in Marcy, because she does it a lot. Marcy Penner, right? And then this is kind of what I'm talking about. There's a block of stuff in the middle and a stripe on the top and a stripe on the bottom. And so I'm going to pin that, and the way that my Pinterest works is when I pin something, all of my boards are in alphabetical order, but if I'm just searching my boards, they're not. So I don't know why, but I'm going to go to my subcategory called Layout Design. I have 330 pin boards. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but they're all very organized. So I have a set of boards called Layout Design, and I'm going to go to Messy Block. And so now that I've pinned it to Messy Block, I can, I can just go to my self and then hit pins, And then if I go to that last one, I can click on my board, messy block, and then I can look at the messy blocks. And that's about what they look like. So the trendy messy block is usually done on a white or a cardstock, a light color, maybe a craft color sometimes, maybe a very subtle design, but it's usually done on a lighter colored cardstock, so I'm going to do that. And usually in these designs you'll see a strip on the top and a strip on the bottom. So let's go with that. And they're not always cut evenly, so I actually want to get the bottom of that cut evenly though. So I've cut the top kind of like mishmash, and then I'm just going to be using some strips, so I probably won't need all those things that I just pulled. I have, let me see, I've got some polka dots. That seems kind of fun, but it doesn't seem, actually it seems a little too fun. It seems too fun. Oh gosh. How about, I've got this really old paper that is words, and I think that kind of communicates what I want to say a little bit better. Is this conversation I had with my son last night about, 12:30, 1 o'clock. He's not a kid who likes to sleep. So as a result, I really don't get a lot of sleep. And that's my life. We're working on it. I went to oh, I kind of like that at the bottom though, that little polka dotty thing. So that's, I think, going to go all the way down at the bottom, and then that will go right over it. I like that. Okay. And then what I want to do is I do want to actually machine stitch down those, that top and bottom, because I think it gives it a nice extra detail. So I need adhesive. And when I put the adhesive on, I just want to put a little tiny bit on because I don't want to gum up my sewing machine. I think one of the, it's really great to use sewing machines in scrapbooking, but if you get too much adhesive in your sewing machine, you're going to have problems. And then you're going to be like, my sewing machine doesn't work. And that's not fun. So try to use as little as possible with your adhesive when you're gonna be sewing something down. So I'm just using 2 little tabbies of adhesive. I'm gonna put that one down. And I have my sewing machine here on my desk, which is convenient. But I do need to slide it into place, so it's not as convenient as I would like it to be, but it's still pretty user-friendly. And then I think I want to kind of make this one go not all the way across. So we'll do it like this. And then the other thing I would like to do, just to make it a little bit interesting, is to take one of those shapes from before. So these were my, what do you call it? My gears. I'm going to cut one of these in half. Let's see, I'm just going to cut it in half like this. And then I'm going to tuck it under right here. So one of the concepts about my son is like his wheels are always turning. He's always thinking, and he's usually like at night he really all of the things he's been thinking about all day long come flowing out of him. And so it's this nice time that we have to talk and share, but it's also like, oh, I gotta go, like, please let me sleep. So I'm not alone. I went to this like parenting seminar last night at my son's school, and it are these therapists that kind of help work with kids in their schools, but they observe them in the school, and then they're able to communicate what they're observing to the teachers and the parents so that everybody's on the same page. So I'm thinking about that. And I just also, you know, part of my thought process is, why, like, does it need to be this hard? Does he really need help? And then it seems like, yes, he does. And I don't think he's alone. I think a lot of kids in 6th grade go through this. Like, it's hard to grow up. There's a Ben Folds song called, you know, it's tough to grow up. And it is tough to grow up. So I'm turning my sewing machine on. I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to be putting on this page. I don't have a picture picked out yet. So I'm doing a zigzag stitch across that embellishment. And then I'm going to switch it over to the straight stitch. Okay. Oh, my tension is so wrong on the sewing machine. It's not really, I think I have to increase my tension. How? The sewing machines and computers and silhouette machines are all great when they're working, right? And then when they don't work, it's like, oh, come on. It's so frustrating. Kind of like 6th grade math. Okay. So I'm switching back to my zigzag stitch on the bottom. And now I'm like kind of a third of the way over. I'm going to switch to the straight stitch, if it will let me. And let's see how we're doing on the tension. Oh, even worse. I don't know. I need to, I'm not really sure what the problem is with my tension on this sewing machine. So let's just crank it up. Like, I'm cranking the tension up to 8. I think that's the tension. This is the width of the stitch, and then these are the actual stitches. This is a brother, and I'm not crazy about this model of brother. I had a different brother before that I liked a whole lot more. It's not that much different, really, even with changing all that. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong here, or why it's just like the tension isn't really pulling the paper as much as I would like it to. Let's just switch that just to do something different. And one more run. Yeah, it's just not, I'm not sure what the problem is, whether it's the thread or, because it was working just fine, like not so very long ago. But it's fine. It's not like I'm sewing a dress or anything. I still get the stitching on there. It just doesn't feel like it's really correct. The tension is wrong. But that's just a problem for another day, I'm going to say. But I am going to use the sewing machine again, but once I get that messy block down a little bit. So the next step in the messy block process is just to layer up some pieces of paper. And so, again, I still don't have what I'm going to say. I still don't have, I like these embellishments. This day right here, today, I'm just going to pull off this top part. This is a vellum sheet from Ellie's Studio. It's called Saltwater. So I like that for the, kind of the bottom of my messy block. And then I really love this paper, and I almost don't want to use it because I love it so much. Isn't that nuts? But let's see about maybe using I think I'm just going to use a little, I'm going to cut it this way first. So I'm kind of losing the ombre of it. That's okay. I still have a little ombre showing here. And then I'm going to use this part as a messy, like kind of a messy block. I think I want this to look like that. And then I think I want to use this other portion of the back side of that paper too. And that I will put up there. So I'm starting with this messy block concept. We're not there yet. What you'll usually see with the messy block is a lot of layers. And then a lot of times of small picture. So I'm going to sew down that vellum, and I think I'm also going to sew around this block. Again, I still don't have a photo chosen. I sort of have the story that I want to tell. I think I'm just going to put this a little down. Now I almost feel like I need to get my photo before I really commit to where, so before I sew this down, I'm going to find a photo. But I'm just kind of adhering it lightly. I want that to go behind. And then that vellum is just going to get sewed down. So now I have 2 storage binders close by with photos from mostly Christmas, but I don't really want a Christmas photo. I just want a photo of my son or my son and I. So let's see. There's one. It's not my favorite. So I'm going to keep looking. I really, what is important for me to look for is a photo of his face with the, like an expression that, this one's alright. I kind of like this one. That one's a possibility. So I'm just putting it to the side. I'm not thinking like, oh yes, that's absolutely the one. I'm not there yet. Let me try the other folder. So this is my other folder. This is kind of good because it's got something to do with school. I don't know though. I really want a photo that's going to go this way. Landscape instead of portrait. I've got another one of him and me in the woods. I kind of like that one a little bit better than the first one, which seems to be about Christmas, and his shirt is really a little bit too much in there. I also have a photo of the two of us that I've scrapbooked before, but that I think will still work. And that's really a possibility. So it's between these two. Let me just look a little bit more. So I think you can use the same photo to scrapbook 2 different stories. And the pictures are really just like illustrations of the point you want to make. So they don't have to be from the exact same time. Let's see. Oh, there was one more of the two of us. We take a lot of these selfies. I think I'm going to use one of those 2 that I picked. Let's just look at how they look on the page. So I have this, and then I have this. I kind of like this one of us outside a little bit better. Just think it's like lighter and airier. And just going to cut this photo just a little bit. But I mostly want to use that whole photo. And I like the placement of this, so I am going to go ahead and adhere this down. And I think this photo is just going to go a little bit below. So I'm going to adhere the photo down too. So everything I pulled might not get onto the page. It probably won't. I usually pull way more than I need to use on a page or when I make a kit. But let's just see how far we can get with it. And the goal isn't to like put everything onto the page, but it's still fun to play. It's fun to play. We're not done playing yet. So but I do want to get that vellum sewed down. So I make my videos in real time for the most part. I want to say that I don't know. I might learn how to edit at some point. But for now, it's easy for me to make them in real time. And whoops. Okay, it would help if I had my needle threaded. Let's see if this helps any. I'm really not sure what the problem is with my sewing machine today, but it's not so bad that I can't use it. It's just the tension seems to be a little off. There are, if you ever have like a lot of sewing machine problems, you can go online and like type your individual model in, and there's really good reference material. Like you can find good reference material on how to fix your sewing machine, both from the Brother site and also, I would go to the Brother site first. So I don't want to go through those words, so I'm just going to move it. Hope that works. So I have the, oh, it's not working. What a really bad demonstration. Sorry. Let me figure out what's going on here. Darn it. I'm really not sure why this, let me try that again. Okay, it appears to be working a little bit better. That's so frustrating, right? It is. Okay. Well, so it's not doing very well. That's all the sewing I'm going to do today. And then one thing I might do is just change my thread. And hope that does the trick. But let me just get that put away. So because I'm not very confident in the way that's stitched, I'm just going to take some tape and tape it to the back of the stitching so it hopefully will stay in place. This is just regular tape. I'm going to do that a little bit at the bottom too and the top. What a bummer. And then, oh, it didn't even work at all. Oh, that's really lame. Wow. Okay. So part of my videos are to show you what to do if nothing's working. So that's not working. I don't know if you can see this, but it looks like it worked. It totally didn't work. So because my sewing machine is not cooperating with me, and I really hope that's just a temporary problem, because I love using my sewing machine on my scrapbook pages. I'm going to, one thing that I got at recently at my local scrapbook yard sale was this Swatchbook Impressions Creative Cafe. Ingredients for a creative lifestyle. Paper crafting made easy. Okay, let's see how easy this is. So I'm going to get something that looks like a stitch and try to put it onto, I'm going to try to put it onto the vellum. Whoops, am I cutting two? No, that's just one. Okay. So let's see if we can fake it with these rub-ons. That's very frustrating. And I don't think I have a popsicle stick handy, so if I don't, I usually use the end of a Sharpie pen, and that usually works pretty well. Alright, it's working okay. I'm not in love with it. Let's see. It is coming off though. Sometimes that's a problem. So there's my little fake. It looks okay, I think. I don't think it looks awesome. Oh, I lost the other little, there it is. The other stitch. Let's see. Rub-ons are tricky, I think. Let me just get a... Oh, I was going to put it up here too. Darn it. Okay. I'm going to put a little something above on the paper. Oh, I'm very disappointed in my sewing machine. Very disappointed. Not happy about that at all. Okay, I'm going to just try a different stitch here. This is like an X stitch. Good. And I just eyeballed that as far as fitting it in. And now, and so when I'm rubbing this, I usually just rub it in one direction so the little rub-on thing doesn't move around too much. Because I'm not getting them all down in one fell swoop. Oh, this is why rub-ons are hard. And this is when the part of my brain says, oh, this is taking too much time. Why are we fussing this much with it? Alright, let's do one more. I wanted to do a stitch across here, so I'm going to just take one more line of stitching, or maybe two. Just run it across this. So I'm a little less than thrilled that I'm using rub-ons. I'm all the way less than thrilled. But it's okay. It's just scrapbooking. It's just a scrapbook layout. You can make more, and I think that's a good thing to tell yourself when you're scrapbooking and it's not turning out definitely like the way you want it to. Like, I think that looks like blah. I'm not happy with that. First world problems, right? Okay. Next up is I want to put the title on, and I want to put that on with those gold stickers. And so I'm thinking of that Ben Folds song. It's like, let me just see. This is one thing that I like to use Pinterest for too. Is you can do a search, and you just do Ben Folds growing up. Whoops. Ben Folds growing up lyrics. Okay. And so, no. You can't find me. I saw you when you came out. Nope, that's not it. That's a different one. Let's just do Ben Folds. And let's just do Ben Folds and see what we come. We're just going to get pictures of him for the most part, so I really want to get a little bit more than that. So let's just do Ben Fold lyrics. So I took out the song name because I can't even remember. One day you're going to want to go. I hope we taught you everything you need to know. Aw, there's like a little whale there. That's cute. Smile like you've got nothing to prove. The Luckiest. That's a good song, but it's not the song I'm thinking of. Rock on and spread the love around. If you're paralyzed by a voice in your head, it's standing still that should be scaring you instead. I love you more than I have ever found a way to say to you. The Luckiest. I think I will use, how about The Luckiest? Let's do that. So one thing I like to do when I spell things out is I like to write it down first. So I'm just taking a piece of random paper from my trash can, and I'm going to write the Luckiest just so I don't misspell it as I'm putting it onto my page backwards. Where's all my T's? There they are. Okay. And so that Ben Folds, it's like Rockin' the Suburbs, is an album that we play in the car a lot, and no E's. This is why it's good to buy more than one set of thickers. So when you run out of your letters, you'll have more. I'm going to need 2 E's actually. So I almost think this could be like a pocket page, and I'm not sure if I think I can maybe get some hidden journaling in here. That's possible. Oh, I'm super disappointed in how this went down though, because if it went down with the sewing machine, then it's really easy to make it into a pocket. And also I didn't really get that vellum adhered very well. So now I'm going to use some double-sided tape. If I can find that end of it, here it is. Oh, this is going great. Not. But such is life, right? Sometimes it doesn't go exactly according to plan. A lot of times it doesn't go exactly according to plan. Otherwise it would be just, you know, the super most fantastic situation ever. Where, oh, this is super annoying. Okay. I don't know how this thing got off of its, like, tape cradle or tape dispenser holder thing. But it's off and it's super hard to use now, but I'm running low on adhesive, and so I would say a great scrapbooking tip is keep yourself in adequate adhesive. Like if that's a great place to spend your scrapbooking money, is on photos and adhesive, because there's always like a ton of pattern paper and embellishments and all the other doodads that we love for scrapbooking, but you need photos and you need adhesive. And the rest of it can probably wait. Okay, back to spelling. Luckiest. And so one of the things, okay, I have a couple things to tell you about. So one of the things I've always said to my son, you know, is like God picked you to be my son and he picked me to be your mom and we're supposed to be, you know, like we're supposed to be together. This is, our family is supposed to be a family. And so you're like, even, we're all unique, you know, we've all got good and bad. But we're supposed to be together. And so he, I don't think I've said that enough lately. So there's Luckiest. I think I want to put the in a different font. And let's see. I've got this kind of script looking font in white, and I want this to kind of continue to feel a little bit light. I'm not very good at that. Oh, here's a different. I'm going to do this one instead. These are like canvas letters that you can make different colors, but I think I'm going to leave them white. There's no T. Seriously? Okay, I will not be using those. Oh my gosh. How annoying. Okay. So TH. I think these are Dear Lizzie stickers. Stickers. Okay, I'm okay with this. Oh, how do we do this? Little, the T and the H. Huh. A little awkward. We'll leave it. We'll keep going. Okay. So far, I'm just frustrating myself madly with this layout. I don't have any, like, I'm not really accomplishing the messy block like I said I would, and I feel like I have a big story to tell here, and I haven't really left any part of my page to do that, so I'm going to try to make this kind of more like a pocket over here. And then I'll be able to slide something in this way. That is my goal. Ugh. So I think it's going to be sticky here. I'm going to remove that one. Ugh. I kind of feel like I am... a little bit, blah. Okay, let's get some, of these embellishments onto the page, and then maybe that'll make me feel a little bit happier. So I've got the camera, I've got, some of these Viewmasters. I like the Viewmaster. I like the camera. I think the Viewmaster is going to go up here. this one with the heart. But maybe this one will get okay, so we've got 2 Viewmasters, and let's just see. Huh. Oh, I just not loving. I'm not loving what I'm up to. It's feeling a little forced, and I don't know, it just feels like it doesn't feel exactly how I want it to, but I'm just going to keep, okay, so I'm going to call that the visual triangle there, even though, like, I kind of think maybe it should go, no, that's fine. All right, let's adhere this stuff down before I change my mind. Okay. Wow. I don't know if this is burn or not, but that's the backside of that, what do you call this? Embossed embellishment. That it's a homemade embellishment. So I'm just putting some sticky on the back, but it looks like it actually burned it. So I would say be really cautious when you use your embossing heat gun. Just don't create a fire. Okay, I'm thinking probably some pop dots for this camera. We just give it a little bit of extra excitement. And now I'm really thinking like I should be spending more time on the story of this page than on the stuff of this page. And I'm thinking to myself whether I should journal this on the computer or handwrite it. And I think I'm going to handwrite it and have it be a letter. So there's, it's okay. It's not my, I don't know. So there's that blue color again. I just kind of want to add that in a little bit over here. Oh, that's going to be hard to adhere. I think, I kind of want to put this underneath. Like this. And I'm going to go with this adhesive. It is Dari's and it is permanent. It's also clear. So, oh, I should, you know what I should use? Thermo Web sticky dots. Of course I should. Why didn't I even think of that? Oops. Oh, it's not my day. My drawer sticks sometimes. I'm just having challenges all the way around. These are Thermo Web sticky dots, and they are so good for die cut embellishments. Pull that up. Oh yeah. Why didn't I think of that before? I don't know why. Okay, so there's 2, and then I really want to get a little of that same blue color up here, so I'm going to cut this one in half and use it behind that one. How's that for eloquence? Not very good. because you know what, I'm super impatient with myself at this point in my process. I'm like, it's taking way too long. I don't even see how long it's taking, 44 minutes. And also my sewing machine is giving me a little bit of a fit, so that's kind of like, ugh. And then the other thing that's kind of stressing me out is, I'm not super stressed out or anything, like it's fine, but I feel like I'm not really, I've done some fun decorating of this page, but the point is really so much more on this page. So I'm just wondering how I'm gonna fit this little bit in, because I really want it to be kind of longer and more thoughtful. Let me see. Okay, this is just like a little white piece of paper. Let's see if I can. I think that's, I don't know. I'm good with that, actually. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write, hey Mac, read this. And then to get, even though I feel like these are a pain in the, you know what? I'm going to use these rub-ons again just for a little bit of consistency, and so he'll notice it a little bit more. So hopefully I can get this on. Oops. Oh, rub-ons. Come on. Oh, that worked better on just the flat surface. So there's, hey Mac, read this. And then I'm just going to put this on the top bit here. Okay. I'll just use my Sharpie. Hey Mac, read this. So it's, what's today? The 15th of January, I think. Yes. I think it is. Yes, it is. Okay, 1/15/14. Dear Mac, last night around midnight, you told me about how you finally figured out the point and meaning of life. And I wish I could say that I remember exactly what you said, but truth is I was almost asleep, and I'm going to switch over to a pen just so it won't go over onto the other page. And I'm looking for a pen. I have a drawer here. Mark pen. Here we go. Got one. Okay, so dear Mac, last night around midnight you told me about how you finally figured out the point and meaning of life. I wish I could say I remember exactly what you said, but the truth is I was almost asleep and you talked for a long time about life and God and the universe and the past and time travel and teleporting. You also told me about a duck who loved you and followed you home from Disney World, and how that's how you knew you had a gentle soul, and that it is important to have a gentle soul. You told me about how you are sentimental about places and things like our home and even our office. I wish I could have tape recorded that whole conversation. It was just like, it was good, and he told me so much. I love our conversations late at night, even if they do infringe on my sleep. And I love you, and that you are you, and that you are my son. And then I'm going to write on the back, remember the Ben Folds song about how it is hard to grow up, and I know it is. But also remember the Ben Folds song about being the luckiest, and that is how I feel about you and being so very luckiest. I know that's not to be your mom. I love you. My son is just my little sweetie completely. But and so it's good to do pages like this when you're having challenges. Because we are having challenges in school, and I went to this like parent counseling thing last night on how to get your kid to, so there's my hidden journaling right there, but how to get your kid to conform to school and blah blah blah, and it's I don't know. Part of it's like, yep, okay, we gotta conform, we gotta do all these things, and then part of it is I just wish I could just just let him be and not have to worry about school and all that all that jazz. Okay, I think I would like to have just a little bit of something here on the layout, and maybe some stars. I've got those stars. I printed out some bigger stars. These are like, they're hand memory stars from the silhouette, but they're, they look like some Studio Calico stars. So I've got my little muffin tin in here. Let me show you what I'm going for. I'm going for this. So what I want to do is just add a little bit more, not much, to the page. I don't want to heavy it down any, so I want to just get a couple of stars on there. Where did my, oh, here's my sticky dots. Okay, so just pull up a sheet. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of these down onto the sticky sheet, even though I probably won't use them all, just so that they're ready for me, because I really love these stars and I've been using them a lot. So I printed them out in different sizes. Just get them down there. One more. So sometimes as a mom, if you're having, like, you know, struggles, and part of the thing they said last night, and I've heard this before, is like, you know, these 6th grade math struggles, or these, you know, getting used to middle school struggles, can really affect your relationship, because you're always like harping on your kid to do your homework, do your homework, do your homework, and it's really not, like, you've got to get them there to be doing their homework, but you can't just be nagging them all the time. So it's difficult. It's just a difficult balance, and I want desperately to get it right, and I feel like we're not getting it right, and it's hard. It's a little bit hard, but it's not, I mean, it's not, it's still, we're still okay. But I think what happens is in these preteen years, it like quickly leads to teenage years. So some of the groundwork that you do now, like, kind of really sets up how your relationship is going to be with your kid when they're in their teenage years. I'm wondering, I don't know if that looks good. Too big. Okay, that one I think is too big, so I'm going to put it back down. And then I think I want to use these little tiny ones. The little ones are so cute, aren't they? And that's the other thing with the, you know, even my son will say that to me. He's like, oh, I wish I could just be little again, because, you know, when you're little, you're so cute, and everybody thinks you're so great. And it's, you know, it's true. It is hard to grow up. So I'm going to put 2 little stars, so, like, you know, he and I. Okay, I think we're almost there. I think we're almost done. And also, my son is like, I'm going to be the one that saves all your scrapbooks. And I think he will. I hope he will. And so I think that he'll actually read this. Maybe not now, but who knows? Maybe someday. Sometimes he watches these videos, I think. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. Hold on. My one more thing is that scrapbook page, that story about the duck and the gentle soul. So we actually rescued a duck over the past year, and so we actually had a duck living with us for a little while in the past year, but that's not the duck he's talking about. He's talking about, also got, let me just see if I can do just a little bit more of this rub-on jazz. Okay. I don't know, it could be too much. Let's do it anyways. Why not? But the duck he's talking about is when he was really little, and he was still, like, we were still in the like I want to say he was 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 or 5 years old. We were over at Disney World, and he was just, you know, he has ADHD, he's a very active kid, and, you know, he doesn't really sleep much, and he has a tendency to just really, like if he saw a group of birds, he would, like, want to chase them to get them to run, you know, fly away. And so we were at Disney, and there was a duck, and we had taken a little rest, and we were sitting on a bench, and I was like, oh, I think that duck knows that you have a gentle soul. And he was like, oh. And I'm like, you know, ducks will only come near you if you have a gentle soul. And so he was like, yeah, I know. And so I'm just going to get this crunched down a little, and then I'm going to put it over. And so this duck really did, you know, he really does have a gentle soul, because the duck came over and followed us home all the way to St. Petersburg. And so, because when we got home, there was a duck that looked like it was the exact same duck. And so I was like, he must really know that you have a gentle soul. And so I think that story, he might have remembered it, you know, from actually living it. But I really think the reason he remembers that story is because I scrapbooked it. And so he's seen that story a couple of times. So the takeaway is, you know, sometimes it's good to scrapbook real life. You know, you don't want to just make it look like, oh, we've got this, you know, super fantastic life and everything's perfect. Because that would really that wouldn't be true, right? But you also don't want to just, you know, be like, wow, this really sucks. Like, you know, 6th grade math is so hard, and have every page be about how hard it is. Because that's not going to make anybody feel any better, right? Hold on, I need the other kind of Sharpie to mush this down. Just a second. Yeah, it's really the thin Sharpies that work the best, and the end of them, because they're kind of I don't know. They just work like almost as well as a popsicle stick if you don't have a popsicle stick handy. And I really think my kids like take my popsicle sticks. They help themselves to things in my craft room, which is fine. I think that's good. But I'm always out of like regular tape, scissors, and popsicle sticks. There we go. Okay. So I think the page is pretty much done. I want to show you that other page, but I want to tell you that if you're having any kind of struggle in your life, it's good to scrapbook it, but it's also good to, oh my gosh, I have to show you. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Look at, there's a shark boat going by. Look at that thing. I've never seen that before. Oh, that's so weird. You see it? It's gone. Oh, there's 2 boats going by. There's another. Oh, that's so weird. And there's Jessie out. Can you see her? She's watching. I opened the balcony doors because I was doing that embossing, and it was getting really fumey in here. So she's out there. I've never seen that shark boat before. So this is the page. There's that up at the top. And let's see. Here's the title. And here's my hidden journaling. Let me show you that original page, though, that I'm talking about. Because this is what I think. You can improve your relationships and your attitude, your own attitude, but also like the attitude of your family by scrapbooking. Like, you can actually improve your life. Sorry. Distraction. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, sometimes I think I probably have ADHD too. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I'm looking for my pets album. I just keep meaning to pull that sticker off that thing, and I was finally like, oh yeah, I remember. So I have this pets album, and so that was our duck that we rescued, and she's all better now, and she lives out in the wild, and she comes to visit us every once in a while. And he really was just totally in love with that duck. But that's not the duck we're talking about. We're actually talking about a duck we met at Disney World. And this is the scrapbook page he was talking about last night. But it's a 2-page spread. So let me just see if I can lift this up a little. I don't think I can. But it all started with a duck. And so here he is with our old dog Dandy. And sometimes he would just, get a little like rambunctious with the dogs, and I'd have to say like, no, you have a gentle soul, and you animals know that, and so if you have a gentle soul, then they'll be near you. And so it all started with a duck. We were at Disney, and I told Mac not to chase the ducks. They knew he had a gentle soul, and this was from 2006. So those were the ducks. Those are him, like sort of almost chasing the ducks. But then he like calmed down and let the ducks come closer to him. And so this is the right side of that page. Mac has a gentle soul. And this is our dog Duke, Duke was not the friendliest. He wasn't a not friendly dog, but he wasn't as friendly as our yellow lab. Excuse me. But Mac and Duke developed this relationship where Mac would be very calm, and Duke would let him pet him, and he's showing you how gentle he is. And so, anyways, last night when my son was telling me about the meaning of life and, the universe and God and all of the things, and meanwhile, we're day to day, it's a struggle to be, it's a struggle to get to school on time. It's a struggle to get homework done. It's, there's a lot of struggling involved in daily life. But that story of the duck and that scrapbook that's, in the pet album, but it should really probably be moved to my son's album, stayed with him, even though he never mentioned that scrapbook page. So I think that the stories on your pages really do matter. They really do. And so think about what you want your people to know, and it helps. It really does. So it helps them, and it also helps you. So that's all for today. And I really do feel lucky to be his mom. He's a great kid. And he loves me like nobody else in this world. And I love him too. Love you, Mac. Okay, that's all. I'm Katie Scott, and my blog is called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking. And you can also subscribe to me on YouTube. I've been making a lot of videos this year, and I plan to keep that up. I kind of can't make a scrapbook page anymore without turning on the video camera. So I don't know what that's about, but it's just kind of evolved to that. So thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.